sweets. I am pre-cooking some chicken breasts, and I'm going to put them in another pot and make some gravy with some onions. I usually cook my onions with the meat, but I forgot. So I'm going to put them in the gravy and let it just sit there and saute. But I don't like to cook the meats all the way. I like to pre-cook them because I'm going to sit them in that gravy and just let them simmer. I'm making some mashed potatoes. After my potatoes get done, get nice and soft, so I can smush those up and make some mashed potatoes. And I'm probably going to make a can of green beans and some broccoli because I only have 1 can of green beans. I can't believe I only have 1 can of green beans in my house. But that's what it's looking like so far. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Okay, my sweets, I moved the potatoes over to the back end of the stove. I've got some butter in here melting. I've got some of the chicken broth cubes that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've got my onions sliced up. I like a lot of onions in my gravy. And I have my flour over there. When you're making gravy the old-fashioned way, I had to learn this the hard way, but if you put too much flour in your butter to brown it, all you have to do is add more butter. So I'm going to get this going and then I'll come back. Okay, my sweets, the butter is all melted. Now I'm going to add some flour into this, and I'm not really seasoning this because I'm going to use the juice from the chicken. So we're going to add in our flour, and we want enough gravy to cover all that chicken. So we're just going to keep on mixing this. And this is where I had to learn how to make gravy the hard way. I put too much flour in, so I'm just going to add another little piece of butter and let that cook up so I can brown this gravy to the color that I want it. You can use a whisk if you like. I always use my little spurtles from QVC. And this is the type of pan that you can't turn up more than medium. So you can only cook this cookware on medium. So that's what they suggest. And I've never cooked it higher, so I don't want to ruin my beautiful purple pot set. So you see how that is? I added more butter. Okay. So we're just going to brown this until it gets brown. I am going to throw in my bouillon cubes. I don't even know if I really needed them, but I'm going to throw them in there. As the gravy starts to brown, I'll come back on and show you guys. Okay, my sweets, as you can see, the gravy is browning up very nicely. I don't want to over season my food because I will be sharing this with my neighbor across the hall, and she suffers from high blood pressure. So as you can see, I took the chicken off the pan, so I can take this pan and put this juice right in there. Okay. We're just going to mix that up, and we'll be adding water as we need it. Excuse me, which I always do for my kettle. Hope you guys can see it. I don't have my phone on a tripod, so trying to hold the phone with my left hand. My potatoes are boiling, but they're not ready to mash up yet. And we're just going to keep stirring that up. Get it off the sides of the pans. And let it thicken up. And it's going to be delicious because you use that broth from the chicken that I already seasoned. So you don't need to double season. You're always going to taste it to see if it tastes okay. I'll probably just add a little bit pepper in this. And it looks so good. And all I seasoned the chicken with was my usual garlic and herbs all-purpose seasoning. I used a little bit of the seasoned salt from the Dollar Tree. And I love this seasoning, cilantro lime seasoning. And that's it. And the chicken bouillon cubes, you see how that's coming up? It's nice and thick. Then we're going to throw the onions in there and let them saute while I mush up my potatoes. So, a little pepper. Sorry if I sneeze, but y'all know how pepper is. Doesn't that look good? It's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. And we're going to just keep adding water until we get it to the consistency that we choose. I'm going to have to fill my kettle back up. Or my kettle. Kettle, whatever. While we're doing this, we want to make sure we get it to the consistency that we want it to. And then I'll throw the onions in. And the chicken, and then I'm just going to put a top on it, turn it down to low, and just let it sit there and simmer while I get my potatoes together. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Normally I would have cooked the onions, like I said before. I would have cooked the onions with the chicken, but I don't know. I forgot. Y'all know I'm old. I don't know how I forgot that, because the onions give it so much flavor. So it's nice, creamy, and it will continue to thicken up. So you want to make sure you get it to the consistency that you want it before you add your chicken or whatever meat, your pork chops, whatever meat you're throwing in. You can always add water if it gets too thick. So we're just going to put this in here, and I'm going to throw the onions and the chicken in, and I'll be right back. Okay, my sweets, I've got the onions and the chicken in the gravy, and I will watch this periodically, come and stir it around, but I'm going to turn the eye down to low and put a top on this and just let it simmer. All right, I'm going to turn this down to low and just let it sit there and simmer and stir it periodically so it doesn't stick. If the gravy's getting too thick, you can always add a little bit of water. Just watch it, okay? All right, I'm gonna drain these potatoes and mash them up. I'll be right back. Okay, my sweets, we've got everything done. You see how the chicken is just simmering in that yummy gravy and onions, and I have it all the way on low. You just let it sit there and simmer until that chicken melts in your mouth. I made some mashed taters, okay, and I make my mashed potatoes with almond milk and butter and a little seasoning. And I decided to skip the green beans and just make a bag of broccoli. And I have her piece of brownie here that I made a couple of days ago. So that's for her dessert, and I'm getting ready to pack up one of these to-go boxes. Well, it's actually two of them because they're all cracked right here. So I used two just to make sure the gravy wouldn't spill through. So I'm going to pack up her plate, and then I'm going to make me a plate and enjoy it. I'll be right back. Okay, my sweets, I have her plate made up. She's got like 3 pieces of chicken, mashed taters and gravy, and some broccoli florets. And for dessert, she's got a piece of brownie. And then I will come back and show you guys what my plate looks like. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. My sweets, I forgot to show you how I seal these Dollar Tree to-go plates. They never want to stick in the grooves. Plus, they all came cracked. But I told you guys I keep Scotch tape in my kitchen at all times. So I just tape them down on the edge like that. Even though I'm just passing it across the hall, I still don't want it to spill on me. So that's how I seal them. You guys, she was so funny. She was in the bed sleeping, and I make her get up so she can eat. And she opens the door and goes, "And I'm sure hungry." All right, y'all. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.